Jesus.
You better edit.
J.K. Rowling was one of the most influential authors of all time. She started with a humble economic background, and with her world-renowned Harry Potter series, she lived a true rags to riches story. Rowling was born in Yates, England on July 31st, 1965. She spent her childhood living in Shettow Glen with her parents Peter James Rowling and Anne Rowling. She has one sister, Diane, who is 2 years younger than her. Rowling attended St. Michael's Primary School in her younger years. The headmaster there, Alfred Dunn, was said to be the inspiration behind the headmaster at the Harry Potter books, Albus Dumbledore. She went to secondary school at Weedian School and College. Throughout Rowling's teen years, she was extremely unhappy. Her mother was suffering from multiple sclerosis, and she had a very strained relationship with her father, who she still, to this day, does not talk to. In 1982, Rowling took the entrance exam for Oxford University, but unfortunately, she was not accepted. She ended up attending the University of Exeter. She graduated from there in 1986 with a Bachelor of Arts in French and Classic Novels. After graduation, she moved to London. She worked as a researcher and bilingual secretary for the Amnesty International. After a few years at Amnesty, she moved to Manchester, where she worked at the Chamber of Commerce. In 1990, she found herself on a 4-hour delayed train ride from Manchester to London. During the delay, she had an idea for a story. She began to write, and thus, the birth of Harry Potter. That December, Rowling's mother died because of her ongoing battle with multiple sclerosis. Her death had a huge influence on Rowling's writing. Rowling had suffered the loss of her mother, so she incorporated that loss into her books with Harry Potter's life. Rowling moved to Porto in Portugal in 1991 to teach English by the night, and then she would write during the day. After over a year there, she met George Arentis. She married him on October 16, 1992, and then they had a daughter named Jessica. The marriage didn't last long, though, and shortly after, they separated on November 17, 1993. Rowling then moved with her daughter to her sister's house in Edinburgh, Scotland. After moving in with her sister, Rowling saw herself as a failure. Her marriage had failed, she was poor, and she was a single mom, alone, raising her daughter. She was depressed and contemplated suicide often. Eventually, she signed up for welfare benefits. Then, in August 1995, she started a teaching training course at the Moray House School of Education at Edinburgh University. At this point, she had completed the first book in the Harry Potter series. She finished the manuscript for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1995. Rowling submitted the manuscript to 12 different publishing houses, all of which rejected it. A year later, the Bloomsbury Publishing House in London decided to publish her book. Soon after, Rowling received an £8,000 grant from the Scottish Arts Council to continue writing. The Philosopher's Stone was published in 1997 under the name J.K. Rowling. J stands for her name, Joanne. K stands for her grandma's name, Kathleen. They decided to publish it under this name because they thought J.K. was geared more towards the audience that the book was for, young boys. The book was released, and it had an initial print run of 1,000 copies. 3 months after its release, it received its first award. That February, it also won the British Book Award and the Children's Book of the Year Award. Scholastic then won and bought the rights to the book for £105,000. The second title in the series, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, was published in 1998. It debuted #1 on the Adult Hardbook Series category for 1 month after its publication. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book, was published July 8, 1999. At this point, the series was known worldwide, and it spent 4 weeks at #1. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the fourth book, was published on July 8, 2000. It had had a record-breaking first print with 1 million copies sold in the United Kingdom. It broke all the previous records for the greatest number of books sold on the first day. The rest of the books in the Harry Potter series all went to break records and receive awards. Eventually, Warner Bros. Pictures purchased the rights to the series, and they created all the Harry Potter movies, the 8 movies. Rowling is currently married to Neil Michael Murray, and she has 2 children with him. Rowling started as a child with a poor home and family life. She became a divorced and depressed single mom, but she redeemed herself. The Harry Potter series is beloved by many, as is the author, Joanne Rowling.
Good job.